Hello, everyone. We are Group 88. Our group project is Taro Shuffling AI. And our group primary persona description is this is an individual who is a tech adult in their late teenagers who seek regular tools for self-reflection and decision-making. And they frequently use wellness and productivity app and are comfortable with personalized digital experience. During periods of stress and uncertainties, particularly in professional contexts, they are drawn from intuitive platforms that offer clarity and calm through structured yet creative interactions. So this is our target audience who will use our product. And our key goal for this one is to find emotional groundings and directions through symbolic interpretations like our tarot shuffling card. And the second is incorporate a mindful ritual into the daily routines. And the last but not least is explore meaning without needing deep expertise in traditional tarot reading. We are using generative AI instead of a real tarot expert. And in our product, our primary role is a digital wellness users. And second, a curious learner seeking insight into personal patterns. They must have a deep hope and passionate to learn. And third is a contributor in digital space who may occasionally share insights with friends or through social media.
I am excited to present the technical foundation of our X497 project, Tower Shuffle. It is a multi-page web application designed to create an immersive, ritual-inspired tarot reading experience. Starting with the front end, we use JavaScript along with React to build an interactive and responsive user interface. The component-based architecture of React allowed us to modularize the UI and manage dynamic state updates during interactions. On the back end, we built a Python Flask application that serves a RESTful API. This API handles all core data exchange, including card metadata, reading results, and user account operations. Flask provided a lightweight but powerful foundation for routing, authentication, and session management. We use SQLite as our database during development for simplicity, with a schema structure to support user accounts and tarot card information. 3 custom shuffling algorithms were implemented to ensure each reading feels random yet meaningful, and each card is tied to metadata such as name and interpretation text. For user management, we implemented a complete authentication and account system. Users can register, log in, update their display name or password, and delete their accounts. All forms are validated on server using Flask, and we use secure session-based authentication to match user data across pages. This setup ensures a secure and personalized experience. To ensure code quality and reliability, we developed a solid testing pipeline. Our backend is tested using PyTest, with unit tests validating API behavior and database operations. On the front end, we use Cypress to perform end-to-end tests that simulate real user flows, such as logging in, drawing cards, and navigating through the app. In addition to automated testing, we also conducted manual tests throughout the development to check for our UI responsiveness, animation timing, and overall usability. We use ESLint to enforce consistent code style across our JavaScript codebase.
For this project, we integrated the OpenAI's ChatGPT 3.5 model to generate natural and engaging tarot interpretation. Under the model integration, we use the chat completion endpoint provided by OpenAI and then made a JSON-based post request. The model is called a configurable temperature parameter, in our case set to the 0.7 to balance creativity and coherence. To ensure a robust system, we build a GPT client wrapper that includes the retry logic, timeout control, token usage logging, and support for setting different response tones. For example, soft, mythical, or analytical depend on the user context or the chosen tarot theme. For the prompt construction, we dynamically build the prompt based on the user's selected tarot cards and their orientation, whether they are upright or reversed. A typical prompt might read, mm, like the user drew the lovers, three of cups, and nine of wands, and please provide a holistic love lead to the interpretation in a claim and the mystical tone. And this prompt is then passed to GPT to generate a personalized and fluid interpretation. The language style is controlled directly through the prompts without the need of reread templates, giving each user session a unique feel. To handle the edge case, if the API requests fail or timeouts, we fall back to a default interpretation and show a friendly message like "the spirit are quiet today" to keep the experience smooth and magical. Here's the sample strategy. After receiving the interpretation from GPT, we divide it into several segments, usually one paragraph per class. These paragraphs are then sampled before being displayed, which is the core of our randomized display strategy. We implement this using the classic Fisher yet shuffle algorithm directly in the front end. The shuffle is triggered each time and the page loads or when the user clicks the reinterpret. This makes the experience feel fresh every time, even if the user draws the same cards again. The design purpose of this shuffle is twofold. First, to avoid cognitive bias. For example, without shuffling, users might assume the first card choosing is the most important. Secondly, we wanted to enhance the mythical, unpredictable nature of the tarot readings. By varying the order, we make each interaction feel more magical and personal. This small touch adds a lot to the user experience and keeps things playful without requiring any complex logic on the back end.
One challenge we faced was rendering the AI tarot reading smoothly. Initially, when the response came back from OpenAI, the text would jump or change suddenly. It felt jarring and unpolished. We realized this was caused by React re-rendering or replacing the entire interpretation block, especially when the AI returned a long paragraph. This caused the layout to shift unexpectedly. To solve this, we reserved enough space using minimum height to prevent layout jumps, and rendered the interpretation inside a static container so that only the text contents changed, not the element itself. We then split the AI response into separate sentences using a regular expression, which let us display each one cleanly with consistent spacing. The result was a much smoother and more magical user experience, something that really fits the tone of a tarot application. And one of the first major challenges we ran into for UI UX was making sure the background image filled the entire screen, no matter the browser, device, or window size. Initially, we noticed an awkward white bar at the top of the screen, which really broke the immersion. To solve this, we experimented with CSS properties like minimum height, background size, and background position. But the trick that finally worked was combining the minimum height with resetting all default browser margin and padding, especially for the body and HTML text. We also used background size cover to make sure the image scales dynamically. That small visual fix made a big difference. It gave the page a professional, full-screen look and made it feel like a cohesive experience from the moment the user lands on it. Another tricky part was building 3 separate shuffling methods: classic shuffle, cut shuffle, and chaos shuffle. At first, we only had one animation with a crystal ball, but we wanted users to feel like they had agency, to choose how they wanted their cards shuffled. So I had to rethink the page's logic. We added a state variable to track which shuffling method the user selected, then triggered the right animation or behavior based on that. We also needed to delay navigation until the animation completed, which required managing both date and timing with set timeout. The result is that users can now pick a method, and each one gives a slightly different vibe before revealing the cards. This added a new layer of personalization that really fit the spirit of this project.
The first challenge we tackled was building a more immersive experience for the entire run. At first, we tried to make each step look visually unique, but that actually made the flow feel a bit disconnected and choppy for user. As a solution, we refined the user interface to create more unified visual flow across the entire stage, and we add animation for beginning part and shuffle part to make the user more engaging, like a part of the ritual. We also update some instruction tags and bottom label to better match with our theme of discovering your spiritual adventure, to help user keep in the tone more consistently. As a result, we have more cohesive and thematic user journey, and we also improve the emotional connection and spiritual tone throughout the experience. So I will walk you through our before after comparison. So first part we're gonna discover is the picking card stage. Our before one look prettier, but right now we make it more aligned to the theme, and also we update the text. Second is our starting page. We make animation to be more neutral and change the text a little bit to follow the theme. The third part is our shuffling part. We add animation to enhance its theme. Fourth part is our reading part. We add the text box to enhance the user experience. Lastly is our shuffle method stage.